well. We outside on this nice sunny day, living life, enjoying life. You dig? Um, I'm not gonna be here long today, but I want to talk about Trey Reed, the case down in where was that? Shit, Delta State, something like that. I don't know. Maybe you all can help me. This is a research show. We're gonna talk about that today, man. This is Mr. Top Flight Films, Top Flight TV. Um, we all see this news headline circulating about a young man. It's actually two young men who appear to have been, well, let's just say they've been hung. Okay. I don't know if it was a suicide. We don't know all the details at this point. We can guess, we can assume. I don't like to assume. I don't like to guess. Um, but yeah, it's a young man, college student, found hung from a tree at a college, Delta State College, Delta State University, and it's making headlines. And this happened, I think, a day or two after uh, the the shooting of Mr. Kirk, and it has a lot of people questioning it. It has a lot of people questioning it. Uh, and they starting right off. My man starting right off. You still sad about Kirk, man? Still sad about Kirk. Um, yeah, it has a lot of people questioning, what really happened. And I'm questioning as well. I would like to know exactly what happened to them young men. I don't like to assume. I like to wait till all the information is out. Um, I heard the family is conducting a secondary autopsy. I actually heard Colin Kaepernick will be paying in facilitating this other autopsy. So that's interesting, man. Shout out to Colin Kaepernick, man, real American hero. You know what I'm saying? He's hated in the white community, or in the racist community. Colin Kaepernick is hated because he stood on justice. You know what I'm saying? He all he did was take a knee, and he's a very hated man amongst racist society. Isn't that interesting? All he did was take a knee. But y'all know how it go. Y'all know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I heard Colin Kaepernick will be paying for or facilitating this autopsy, which is cool, man. At times like this, you're gonna see what is what, who is who. You know what I'm saying? But I'm following this story for any developments. What I'm really waiting for is the footage, the surveillance footage. That's what I would like to see. There's no way possible that there's no surveillance footage. They have surveillance footage of school shootings and mass shootings, and it's surveillance of everything nowadays. You dig? It's hard not to catch something on camera. So if this young boy went to the college and decided to just hang himself, it should be on camera, right? I mean, at least him walking onto the facility, onto the grounds. From what I understand, he had legs and arms broken. That's just what I heard. I can't confirm that. That's what's circulating. That's what's swirling around the internet. You know what I'm saying? This stream is also a Q&A. All Q&As, any questions, anybody got a question, please feel free. Let's make it educational. Let's not make it degenerate, and let's not do a bunch of racist stuff in the comments, please. You know, if you can help yourself. I don't know if you can help yourself. You dig? What's up, miss? How are you? You have a nice breakfast? Was it? Yeah, so we gonna talk about it, man. Does anybody know about this case? Does anybody know what's going on with this case? Is anybody aware? Is anybody aware of this case? Talk to me, man. Talk to me. I also want to pose the question: Where do you all see America heading at this point? Are you optimistic about America's future? Where do you see America going? Um, it's looking grim. It's looking very grim. It's looking very dark, and it's looking very it's looking extremely unorganized. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are fighting each other, right? It's a lot of fighting amongst each other. The races are fighting each other, Democrat and Republican. You dig? And it's imploding from the inside. So, I would like to hear from people, man. Where do y'all see? God damn. Where do y'all see America going? What direction are we headed in? You dig? We have all kind of white supremacist groups popping up. Well, they've been around, but they're being popularized. They're only going to get bigger. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a bunch of fake Charlie Kirks popping up. A lot of people are going to try to walk in his shoes. A fun fact about Charlie Kirk that I learned that his father was very wealthy. And I also learned that he was scouted. I don't know if y'all are aware, man, but certain think tanks and certain organizations, they go scouting for teenagers that seem to be brilliant or have they're good at academia. Certain think tanks will go recruit high school students because they like to get them young. You know what I'm saying? So one fun fact that I found out about Charlie Kirk is he was scouted and recruited very early by a millionaire, multi-millionaire. And he was given, I think, $4 million to go from college to college to talk about the free market. And they said that didn't really work out good for him. And he was handpicked. This is what I've been telling you. I didn't even know the fact, but you could just tell that this dude was handpicked. He was handpicked. And, this is how he began his journey. You dig? DOA Knife said we need to protect our First Amendment. Yeah, the First Amendment, people are wiping their ass with the First Amendment right now. You know what I'm saying? I talked about this yesterday on my stream. I talked about how people are practicing or people aren't practicing true patriotism. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the people that talk about their patriots, they call them people's jobs. They have databases. You know what I'm saying? Look, we got one in here now. Buzz says, ha ha, bye, Jimmy. Yeah, Buzz, let me ask you, Buzz, are you from America? Are you an American? 83 Gator, my man. My man said, if the people, all races don't come together, this world will come to an end faster than expected. We only have so much time left to get ourselves. Well, let me say this, Gator. I don't think it's about coming together. I think the white supremacists need to stop practicing white supremacy. Black people aren't we're not really combative. We would love peace and harmony. That's all we've ever fought for. You know what I'm saying? All we've ever fought for was fairness. So I don't think it's a thing of coming together. I don't think most black people hate white people. I don't think that's the case. What you see when we talk about these topics is you see us reacting to racism. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the fact that black folks hate white folks. No. When you hear certain things that black people say, we are reacting to being oppressed and we are reacting to unfair treatment. We are reacting to double standards, hypocrisy, and all these other things. You dig? Patty, yo, what it do? Y'all hit the like button for me, man. Ships Creative says, what makes you think he was hung and wasn't suicide? Just wondering. Well, yeah, that's what I'm asking. I told you I don't like to assume, but from what this is one reason why it's suspect. Because typically we don't really hang ourselves like that. Black men don't really hang themselves like that. That's just not something that happens a lot. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. A good friend of mine's pops hung himself, so I know it does happen. But a young man like that and go to a college? Why would you go to a college and hang yourself? You know what I'm saying? Was he trying to send a message? Why would he go to a college and hang himself? See, this happened a couple days or a day after Charlie Kirk was at a college. You see what I'm saying? Was at a college. Was this symbolism? Was this a message? I would lean more towards, yes, somebody hung his ass. I would lean more towards that. In this climate, we saw racists out in the street talking about fight back. We saw how people talking about how angry they were. I saw people that I knew personally talking about they're radicalized now. So it would not be far-fetched that somebody hung him and lynched him to send a message. You know what I'm saying? Patio said, 83 Gator, did you just really say black folks need to let it go? Did he say that? 83 Gator said, I agree, and black people need to let the past go. It was a horrible for all sides. No, it was not horrible for all sides, man. See, shit like that is why this shit keeps going. That's called racism. That was a very racist statement. You did. That was very white supremacy of you to say that. You know what I'm saying? Because what do you mean the past? This shit is happening. We talking about somebody getting lynched today. Today's topic is about a black man being lynched. So what we talking about the past? There ain't no past. You see what I'm saying? This shit happened. Look. Let me tell y'all something. Let me give y'all some personal experience of mine about the climate of the America right now. I live in a predominantly white town. You dig? And as I go out to the grocery store, to Planet Fitness, to other places, the racial tension is very high. I'm very good at metering racial tension. And it is very high. I've been getting some looks. I've been getting some energy. You dig? More than I would normally get. You know what I'm saying? And it's very tense. So all that let the past go, that's not gonna work for y'all. Y'all gotta stop telling people to let the past go, especially when it was never made right. You see what I'm saying? But I don't want to get into all that for real. 83 Gator said, bro, a white dude was hung also. What does that mean? What does that mean? Listen, let me tell y'all something. Y'all think that the racism today looks like it did back in the day. We don't know if that white boy hung with a bunch of black dudes. We don't know what his status was. We don't know if he was a Democrat. Maybe they was sending a message with that too. You dig? Buzz said if Jimmy's ratings were just as good as Carson's, Disney would have looked the other way. Let me tell you, Buzz, listen. Jimmy about to come up on a bag. Everybody, let me tell y'all something. Everybody, most people that have been fired, all Trump did was make more of a mess. Disney is going to be mad at Trump when this is all said and done. You understand Jimmy Kimmel signed contracts, right? Do you know Jimmy Kimmel signed contracts? And I'm not caping for Jimmy Kimmel. I don't give a fuck if he's online or on TV or not. I really don't care. But the way the entertainment industry works is you sign contracts. Jimmy's gonna come up. He's suing for $1 billion. Y'all know that? Do y'all know that Jimmy is suing for $1 billion right now? Joey says, all you prove with this stream is the dumbest among you are the loudest. I don't understand what that means. Why don't you say something intelligent, man? I don't understand. Why don't you make your point? What did I say that was wrong? Buzz says Disney will get NFL deal strictly. I don't know, man. Listen, I don't know. Let's be real. Jimmy didn't really say shit wrong. You know what I'm saying? He made a joke. He made a little joke about Trump, and it wasn't even a joke. It was true. They asked Trump. They said, Trump, how do you feel about Charlie Kirk? He said, yeah, well, look what we have over here. Like, what the fuck is that about? What is that about, y'all? Baby girl said, Gator, black people are the #1 discriminated against race. Please stop playing like you're not fully aware. Yeah, they're very aware. They are very aware. But, you know, yeah, they know. Patio said, 83 Gator, what black gang member killed Kirk? None. I did a stream yesterday about the 5 police officers that were killed, that were shot in Pennsylvania yesterday. Nobody gave a fuck. None of these racist people in the comments gave a fuck about those police. They didn't want to talk about it. It was a white dude that shot 5 officers. 3 of them died. And all the racists could do was come in here and talk about me and my hat and stop being a victim. They didn't say condolences to the police or nothing. And this is the Blue Lives Matter crowd. You dig? I'm gonna say this again, Texas Pete. The people that came in my chat would not address the issue. I asked and I asked a bunch of times. You dig? Nobody wanted to talk about it. Kyle said that shit was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy, bro. No, it wasn't 4 people. I had 30,000. Hold up. I had 30,000 people come through my live yesterday. Go look at my numbers, Texas Pete. Go look at my numbers, homeboy. It's not a false equivalency. Y'all said black people were violent and tearing America up. Since last week, we had Charlie Kirk assassinated, which has divided the country like no other. You had a school shooting the same day. The next day, you had an armed gunman apprehended at the Naval Academy in Annapolis. 4 days later, a white man killed 3 officers and shot 5. What are you talking about, false equivalency? No, that's a very great equivalency. You dig? Michael said Trump was kicked off of Twitter for the same thing. Let me be fair. I'm going to be fair. See, we're very fair over here. The Democrats and the other side, they absolutely did the same thing to Trump. They did the same thing. But at least they own being pansies. Okay, the Republicans are supposed to be tough, right? Y'all the tough guys, right? Right? At least the Democrats know that they some fucking pansies. You guys are tough. You guys are the warrior class, right? Why do you have a database getting people fired like some snowflakes? Green Light said they don't want to admit it, bro. No, I already know. I know the racists are always in denial. Always in denial. You dig? And that's why Charlie Kirk was a racist, because he never, ever talked about his community and the problems in his community. He never talked about that. He always deflected to us, made us seem like the worst of the worst. We're the problem. That's called propaganda. If I'm not speaking on issues equally, you understand? If I'm not talking about issues equally and I'm only putting it on one group of people and making my group look better, that is called propaganda. If you look at my channel, I talk about issues in my community, issues in the racist community, issues in any community. When the Mexicans was out there acting crazy, I talked about that shit too. So save the drama for your mama, man. Like, I don't have no tears for Mr. Kirk, because I know exactly what he was and who he was. And speaking of Charlie, man, do y'all understand the symbolic similarities that him and George Floyd have? Have y'all really looked into that? Drew Mazza said, why do so many black men shoot each other? The same way a white man shot Charlie Kirk, the same way that white boy in Pennsylvania shot 5 police officers. See, this is not criminal on criminal. Okay, listen. Black communities, criminals kill each other. It happens all over. The mafia, you guys love the mafia. You guys love the Italians. You guys love The Godfather. You love Goodfellas. You love Casino. You guys, these guys are heroes. John Gotti is a hero in your community. He's a hero. So the thing is, it's criminal on criminal most of the time when it's black violence. What we saw in a matter of 5 days is a bunch of white violence, and they weren't, and it wasn't even criminal on criminal. You understand? It's different. It's different. Jew Baby said, or churches. Yeah, we don't shoot churches up. Okay? We don't do that. We don't go into schools and kill little toddlers. We don't do that. That's the racist community. Why don't you guys talk about that? When will you talk about that? Why are you ashamed to talk about that? Why do you deflect to black men when it's time to talk about that? Huh? I know. You can deflect all you want, but the whole world sees and knows. And it's like watching a narcissist. It's like somebody who always thinks they're right. The whole community knows, their family, he always thinks. This is what we see. You guys don't want to address these issues. You dig? Andy S. No, they won't. Y'all hit that like button for me, man. Okay, Zane said, let's get back to Trey Reed. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real, man. I didn't even want to address Trey Reed because I know it's gonna be a lot of racists, especially in this chat, that's gonna get a lot of pleasure from that young brother being found hung. So I didn't even want to touch this thing, to be honest with you. Um, look. PRB said 2 things black man can't do is swim and fly planes. See, this is Charlie Kirk's homeboy. This is what Charlie Kirk was putting out to the universe. The joke is on you, my man. The joke is on you, right? Because, listen, the joke is on you, PRB, because you're proving us right that Charlie Kirk was a racist. The whole chat can see it. If Charlie Kirk was such a great man, such a God-fearing, loving man, you would not be saying what you just said. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. Appreciate you. Shout out to the UK, Jamie. Peace to you, homie. Adam S., what it do? Will said, I can swim. Yeah, all you know, stereotypes, man, are hilarious, man. It's not even insulting at this point. Colton says Charlie Kirk wasn't racist. No. We don't need you to tell us what he was and wasn't. His followers are in my chat every day telling us exactly who he was. All that Charlie Kirk wasn't racist shit, that shit is done, man. At this point, y'all are trying to piss on our head and tell us it's raining. We already hip. We see on the internet, we see in real life, we see the rhetoric that you guys are pushing. We see that people are ready to kill. We see that people are ready to go to war. They're trying to cover it up and act like they're coming together in solidarity, having candlelight visuals in these small towns, which is bullshit. Okay, let's be real clear about that. So I don't need you to come in here and tell me anything about Mr. Kirk. We know who he is. You dig? Shiloh said, do you think Trey Reed was lynched? This is what we talking about today, and what I said earlier. I don't like to talk about stuff that I don't have the facts on. But if I had to guess, if I had to, my first thought, yeah, sure, absolutely. My first thought, yeah. I mean, come on, man. Why was he hung at a college? Like, how he decided to go hang himself? People normally do that stuff at home. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that they are not releasing the surveillance is very suspect. Inverse. What did I say? That was a conspiracy theory. Gilbert said, fix the black on black war. No, sir. Sir. The shit that's going on in the black community has nothing on what y'all are doing right now. Do you understand that? You have a guy in PA that chopped down 5 police officers, killed 3. You've never seen that in Chicago. Okay? You did? Do you understand? And you can be in denial all you want, brother. But you know as well as I know, when you look at yourself in the mirror and you really get real with yourself, you say, damn, these racists do get kind of wicked, man. We got a monopoly on this violent shit. Everybody in Chicago and all these cities, the black on black war, they learn from the racists. You understand? They learned everything they know from racists. They learned everything they know from America. Understand that. You dig? Gilbert said, Chris Rock has already dropped a dime on your bullshit. Yeah, Chris Rock he had a clip circulating. And you know, a lot of people are asking, like, why are y'all mad? Like, what are white people mad about? You understand? A lot of people are asking, what are you upset about? You have a monopoly on everything. You got power of the White House, of the government. What the fuck is the problem? What are you whining about? You dig? Graveyard Garden says, racist snowflake alert. No, you guys are the new snowflakes. You're getting people fired, right? Aren't you? Are you going to type my name in a database? West Cruz says, why black people complain too much? We have respect. Never complain like you can't even write, homie. You can't even formulate a sentence. Chad Butler says, Charlie was was and is a big racist. I never heard him say anything good about my people, so fuck him. Yeah, fuck him. And everybody that love him. Straight like that. Straight like that. So what? So what? Y'all hit the like button for a player, man. We in here, Top Flight TV. Y'all know what it do. You know we put belt to these racists' ass. They can't we spank bottom, we spank their bottoms every goddamn day. They can't deal with it. Cause you know the racists are not intellectual enough. They can only come in here and insult. They can't have real dialogue. You dig? They say black fatigue 1,000 times. We already know. 83 Gator said, yes, quit killing your own kind. I'll give you that, sure. I agree. But you do the same. Okay. I agree. But you go ahead and do the same, bro. Right? Don't y'all gotta stop killing each other too? Y'all been slaughtering each other for 5 days straight. We haven't heard shit about Chicago in a week. Cause this shit makes Chicago look like nothing, like a playground. Wes Cruz says, do me a favor, don't put Hispanics in your mouth. We don't like you. I know. That's why your ass is hiding from ICE. Wes Cruz. That's why you and your family members are hiding from ICE. You're peeking out windows. You're peeking around the corner before you leave the house. Guess who's not? Guess who's not? Mr. Foundational Black American. I thought about joining ICE. I ain't gonna hold you. They had a $50,000 sign-on bonus. I'm like, you know what, man? I might just have to fucking join ICE, bro. But I'm glad you let it be known, man. Look, I wrecked one of my cars last week, right? 2 o'clock, 2, 3 in the morning on the highway, dark highway. And guess who pulled up to help me? Some Mexicans. These brothers, first they almost hit my car because it was in the middle of the highway. They were speeding like shit. But then they pulled over, helped me push my car over, and they took me home. Shout out to those essays, man. But there's a certain class of Mexicans that think they're white, and they're not. You're not white, Vato, okay? You're not. And when ICE comes and picks your dumb ass up and sends your ass over to El Salvador, okay? Don't say shit. Don't come on my live, bro. We know you. See, you let it be known. I love Mexicans. I love the Mexicans that love me. I've always loved and admired certain Mexicans. But it's a lot of bad apples in that community that give y'all a bad name, man. I know. Roderick, shout out to you, homeboy. Jimmy G said, do people just get online and cry about anything and everything they possibly can? I don't know. It look like you about to cry now, man. Timothy 29 says they be scared as hell of ICE. Yeah. West, listen. West. They will come get your dumb ass, dog. Wes Cruz says, they not picking me up. I look for your people to put them in jail. What? Come on, man. I don't even want to talk to you, dog. You're not even a citizen, man. Get the fuck out of here. How about that? Fuck out of here, man. Go make me a fucking taco or something. How about that? 83 Gator said, bro, Chicago is the worst place to live. Man, listen. If y'all don't knock this shit off, bro, it is sad at this point. It is sad at this point, man. Like, stop. Why you keep talking about Chicago, man? Like, talk about Kirk. Talk about Utah. Talk about the college at Utah. Talk about Pennsylvania, the 5 officers shot. Why aren't you talking about that? Pac Smile said Latins can be white. Yes, a lot of them, I don't know, I'm not gonna put a number on it, but a lot of them, they consider themselves Caucasian. This is a fact. Don Hector said Philly is also a mess. It doesn't get enough recognition. Yeah, listen, y'all keep coming on my page, deflecting like Charlie to black violence. There are videos on my page about black violence. You understand? But we're gonna be fair. We're gonna be real Americans. and we're gonna tell truth. I'm gonna be a real patriot, and I'm gonna tell the truth about my people and your people. Why can't you guys practice the same patriotism? Anybody? Anybody? That's the difference between me and you. This is the difference between my ancestors and your ancestors. We wanted a great America for everybody. You understand? Not just one group. We didn't want to dominate. We don't have a complex where we have to keep people subjugated. Okay? You dig? That's not how we get down. See, people that are reassured and secure, they don't have to subjugate people. They don't have to try to keep people down. They don't have to try to be bigger and be supreme. We just don't have to do that. Brian Beck keeps asking who was Charlie Kirk's best friend. Let me guess. Candace Owens. So, Nick, are you fucking stupid, bro? Like, this is how slow some of y'all are. Do y'all understand? We don't fuck with Candace Owens. She's not a foundational black American. And shout out to everybody that's from any other country. But what you gotta understand is she doesn't have a direct link to our lineage. Obama didn't have a direct link to our lineage. Candace Owens doesn't have a direct link to our lineage. She is Caribbean. We don't give a fuck about her. A lot of them don't like black Americans neither. So you keep talking about his best friend. Yeah, he was in the car listening to R. Kelly, talking about peeing on bitches. But I thought hip hop was so degenerate. Which one is it, Charlie? You listening to R. Kelly, somebody that y'all call a child molester. You and we got actual video. Which one is it, y'all? See, y'all been played. I keep telling you, you've been played. Okay? Y'all see the clip where he's in the car jamming with what's the bitch name? What's that bitch's name, dog? I just lost her name. Candace Owens. But I thought I thought hip hop was degenerate. Come on, man. Richard. Sorry, y'all. Richard Gilbert said, white guy here. But you're right, bro. I appreciate you, Richard. Listen, we try to tell truth over here, man. We don't do the racism over here, okay? We let the people in the chat do the racism. You dig? Fuck Kanye, too. Kanye is lost. That nigga is like super duper lost in the sauce, man. You dig? Brian Black says, hate. Old Glory said, do you know what the #1 leading cause of death is for white men between the ages of 16 and 35? Yeah, shooters from Utah. Shooters from Utah in Pennsylvania. I know y'all mad, cuz. Troy said, facts, brother. Jersey. What up, brother? Shout out to Troy, man. Shout out to Jersey. He said Kanye's awake. Kanye is listen, let me tell you, you can be awake, you can be woke, but you gotta have the wisdom and the knowledge. Being woke, just saying random shit is stupid. You understand? I would respect Kanye if he had a method to his madness. He's just a crash out. You understand? Kanye's just a crash out. American Maid said, we about to have MF's sweet feet swinging again. I like that. Y'all see that? American Maid said, we about to have MF's feet swinging again. Listen, thank you for that comment. You confirmed that your leader, Charlie Kirk, was indeed a racist. Because if he wasn't, you'd be talking about love and peace and everything he was supposed to be standing for. So thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Love for Rain said, I'd rather be woke in reality than a dream. Colton said, dude sounds sad. He's hurt, blaming everyone but himself. I pray you get better. I don't think the people who are being rational will agree with that statement, bro. I don't understand. Fakit said he wasn't racist, you effing moron. Sir, I can break down the racist things that he said, And I can break down. See, his racism is very complex. A lot of people won't get this, don't understand this. They are talking about a racist with a white robe on, is calling people niggas, is hanging people from trees, saying I don't like black people. That's not racism in 2025. Okay, racism looks very, very different. He was, Charlie Kirk was carrying out a racist agenda. Okay, that's what he was doing. Gary Brooks says, so answer the question. What question? Yeah, I'm about to start bringing people on to the channel real soon. I want to hear from y'all. I want to bring some of these races up so we can have a conversation and see who really has the low IQ. God bless said, quit talking about racism. There's multi-billionaires and there are black men in the USA. Y'all sad, man. Y'all sad. Y'all sad. Look at one, let's take one billionaire. I'm glad you said that though, even though it's a lame talking point. Let's take one billionaire that we have. Let's take P. Diddy, all right? Sean P. Diddy Combs. Sean P. Diddy Combs is in a federal holding cell right now because he's black, because of white supremacy. What is his $1 billion status doing for him now? He offered them a $50 million bail package. He's in prison right now for buying prostitutes. He's in a federal holding cell for buying prostitutes. So you just been debunked, okay? Yes, because he's black. Lunch numbers, who in the world will still remain in jail after offering a $50 million bail package and the only charge holds 5 years in jail? Who? Only black folks, dog. Only black folks, you dig? That's it. MC said, I am Mexican, and you're right. Shout out to you, MC. JS Baltimore said, Diddy is arrested for being black. Yeah. Diddy was, this whole case was because he was black and successful. Dog, we got a whole list, man. Look what they did to Michael Jackson. Look what they did to Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was rich and powerful and talented. And they put them cases on him. And come to find out, them cases was bogus. They put Bill Cosby in prison, for God's sake. They put Bill Cosby in prison, for God's sake. And that's why I say it doesn't matter if we're violent or not violent. It doesn't matter if we have a Chicago or we don't have a Chicago. We have always been the problem in racism, in racist people's eyes and in their mind. We've always been a problem. Even when we were on our best behavior, we were still being blamed. We were still being looked at and deflected to. People always look to us as if we're the problem. We've never not been the problem. You understand? So don't, all my black people and everybody that wants justice, don't let them fool you with, oh, it's so much violence, you're messing up the country. No. We've always been the blame. Always. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Brett said, what you talking about? He drugged people. This shit is whack. See, you don't even know the case. Why did he get out? Why did they let him out of prison? He wasn't supposed to go to prison. See, I only want to talk to people that know the facts of the case. You dig? MC said, maggots walk around like shit don't stink and like the race is some kind of unique. Yeah. Well, we know that. We know you can't hold these racist people accountable. They don't want to look in the mirror. They're ashamed. That's why they're taking all this stuff out of these museums. They're taking this history out of schools. They don't want to teach it. They're hiding their shame, man. They don't want this stuff talked about. You understand? Y'all hit the like button for me, man. We in here, Top Flight TV. Y'all know what we do. We got them in here mad, man. They in here upset. PRB, why don't you go take a nap or something, man, since you got so much fatigue. Lonzo 85, what it do, my boy? Spinning said he got released on due process violation, not an absence of guilt. Do you know that? Yes, I do. And you just said it. They violated his rights. They violated his due process rights because he already made a deal, okay, with those people for no jail time. And they turned around, locked his ass up again. He's a millionaire over and over and over. So the guy that came in here and said, there's no racism. You guys have millionaires and billionaires. Let me tell you something. Do you know why these millionaires are not speaking out? Do you know why these black celebrities don't speak out? Because they know it will be over for them. Why? Because they live in a society of racism and white supremacy. Why don't you see Jay-Z out speaking out? Why don't you see these black people speaking out? They know it will be finito, cancel Christmas. Their whole shit will be gone. They know this. Even rappers, they won't speak out on this shit. Why do you think that is? Right. Patty said you're defending a rapist. Listen, knock this racist shit off, rapist shit off. Them women went to that man's hotel room. They took drugs. like knock it the fuck off. They were in his hotel room. See, we believe what we want to believe, right? But I'm gonna go with the facts. Being a man, women don't go to your hotel room unless they try to do something. They don't go to your hotel room at 2 in the morning. And then 50 years later, they cry rape. Get the fuck out of here, man. Who cares? Nobody trying to hear this shit, man. Mendy, you don't have to hit the like button, sweetheart. I wasn't really talking to you. I'm talking to everybody that's feeling the content. You dig? MC said, look at what they did to Oklahoma. Yeah, I talk about that often. For those that don't know, the U.S. government bombed a successful black city. There was no Chicago there. They weren't drilling and killing over there. They were very successful. And America dropped a bomb on them. You understand? So knock that shit off, man. We know better. We know better. Ronnie said, still haven't explained how Charlie was racist. Keep ignoring that, because it's so tiring. Y'all will deflect and you will be in denial. I'm gonna give you a little piece right now. I did a whole broadcast on this the other day. You listening? I'm gonna tell you why and how Charlie was a propagandist and he was a liar. Charlie Kirk said that Trayvon Martin hunted George Zimmerman and killed him. This is what he said, word for word. You understand? And no. Annie, go find the clip. It's super viral. Okay, this is the thing. When you find the clip, you're gonna say to yourself, well, damn, let me see. Shit, because this is what he said. That was propaganda. His job was to make you not have sympathy for victims of police brutality, to desensitize you so you will not stand up for these victims. How is it, out of all of the people that got shot unarmed, all of them were at fault? All of them should have did something different. Now, he didn't defend not one black person in any of those shootings. We know Trayvon was minding his fucking business. A 17-year-old kid. He had the nerve to flip it and say Trayvon hunted Zimmerman. Then he lied about the time. He said it happened at 2 in the morning. It happened at 7 o'clock in the evening. You dig? PRB, it doesn't matter who said anything about a cop. It doesn't matter if he was a cop or not a cop. You dig? Ronald Williams says, I've seen Kirk, the shit he pushed was bogus. Yeah, he was bogus. Anybody with a brain, let's see, the only people that can't find the racism are the people that don't want to find the racism. Make no mistake. There are plenty of things he said. He talked about the black pilots. He talked about black women. I want to make a point that nobody's making. I would have a little bit more respect for Charlie speaking on black issues if he really been around black people. You can look at Charlie and tell he didn't grow up around no black folks. He really doesn't know about black culture. He doesn't have any empathy for black culture. If you don't have empathy for these neighborhoods, for this violence, how could you actually try to understand, or why would you push the cause and effect of this violence? If Charlie was a white dude from around the way, he would say, yeah, man, they killing each other, but this is why. Nico Bandit said Trayvon was a scumbag, but guess what? Charlie Kirk was a scumbag too, and they turned this TV off. You dig? That young boy who he spanked his bottom, didn't he? He spanked his hiney, didn't he? Yeah, he did. I don't, and listen, Travis said all empathy is you. I don't give a fuck about your empathy, dog. I don't need your empathy. I already know where you stand. I don't give a fuck about your empathy. We're talking about a particular topic. We're talking about Charlie Kirk and people defending him, acting like he wasn't a racist. This is what we talking about. You dig? Kyle said, this dude's crazy, liar, propaganda pusher. Okay, all right, what up? What's up, miss? I said nothing but facts. I said nothing but facts. Evansville said, you're the devil and you need God. Y'all mad. Y'all mad. Don't go shoot no police today, man. Don't shoot no school up today. Cause this is what the racists do. Y'all get mad at black people. Y'all don't go to Chicago. All this talk about Chicago, y'all get so mad at black people. Y'all don't go around there and shoot people and fight it out. Y'all go to schools. All these school shooters and mass shooters got goddamn manifestos talking about how much they hate black people. But they went and shot up some white people. It's fucking sick. PRB said Charlie was tapping Candace. She know who cares? Candace is not one of us. Hold up, but my man Razor Vala said turn his TV off. Turn his TV off. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck him, man. Fuck him. Oh yeah, so the George Floyd. Y'all know how many similarities, spiritual, metaphysical similarities that George Floyd and Charlie Kirk have in common? Do y'all know they share the same birthday? October 14th. Did y'all know that? No, Candace is a Caribbean. She's not a black American. She's not a foundational black American. She's not one of us, okay? And she's even said that. She said, hey, I don't really talk about Caribbean blacks. She has a Caribbean bias. She said this out of her own mouth. And you can just tell the way she talked. Foundational black Americans don't talk like that. We honor and respect our ancestors. You see what I'm saying? She wants to be white. Let's just be real. That's cool. FBA boy Kush says she's a tether. Yeah, see, bro, I don't even use that word like that. But in some cases, she is a goddamn tether, man. She is a goddamn tether. Oh yeah, so Charlie Kirk and George Floyd have the same birthday, October 14th. Charlie Kirk's, when they turned his TV off, it was public. Just like when that white man killed George Floyd. Public. Right? Do y'all know the sign? Their signs? Libra. Can anybody tell me what Libra means? Can anybody tell me what goes on Libra season? What that deity represents? Can anybody tell me? Libra is justice, the scales of justice and balance. You understand? It's deep. It's deep. Oh, and I forgot the biggest part. They both died from neck injuries. They both died from neck injuries. That was the universe. That was the universe sending a message. That was probably the ancestors sending a message. You dig? Ghost Cat said Charlie is Floyd. Floyd is Charlie. Marco said, what are you trying to start? What do you mean by trying to start? See, y'all always say somebody trying to start something. What do you mean somebody trying to start something? I'm just saying kicking facts, man. You dig? Emo said it's called karma. Bruh, it is a spiritual, metaphysical connection. Tell me that ain't, come on, man, it's deep. That is deep. PRB said there's no such thing as FBA. You're an African American. No, sir, we're foundational Black Americans. PRB, where's your family from? When did they get to America? When did they get to my country, sir? When did they get to my homeland? And where are you from? You're from Ireland? You're from where? Talk to me, PRB. B. Collins says, what's your solution? My solution to what, my man? E. Max said Freedman. Yeah, I like, yeah, Freedman. We are Freedman as well. Skin said, you want to talk about white lady on the bus recently? I already talked about that. What do you want me to do about that? There was a schizophrenic black man that killed the white lady. What you want me to do about that? I don't understand. There are several cases of white men stabbing black women. There's a case of a black man, the OnlyFans worker. Y'all remember the white OnlyFans girl? Y'all remember her? Y'all remember that case? She chopped the boyfriend up. Nobody cared about that shit. But I don't want to, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. I don't condone violence. Well, I do condone violence. I don't promote violence. I understand violence has to be enacted when it's time to get stupid. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, man, God bless that girl. If it's even real. A lot of people are speculating that shit ain't real, man. It don't even look real. It's raining out here, man. She was Ukrainian. Well, a lot of people were questioning its authenticity. I'm not saying I was. You just see, the thing is, y'all will believe everything is a psyop, right? When it's in your favor, right? You believe 9/11 didn't happen, or they didn't, it was an inside job. Y'all believe all this shit. So I really believe that in all cases, I don't do selective justice. That's not what we do. You dig? So I just look at everything with a side eye. You know what I'm saying? Jen, I don't want to talk about that because y'all gonna start crying. Fire Kit said Native American. Taylor, shit, you can't even write, homie. You can't even write. PRB says, so you don't promote violence but no empathy for Charlie? Fuck Charlie, dog. Like, that don't even make sense. That don't even make sense. Me not having empathy for Charlie is not promoting violence. That is called giving the same energy that Charlie gave. Why are you mad about that? Charlie didn't give empathy to Trayvon when he lied on him. Charlie didn't give empathy to George Floyd. Why should I give any empathy to Charlie Kirk, dog? Jared said he didn't have empathy for others. Right. They know that. They know that. They just think we're supposed to bow down. That's the thing. They don't care. They don't care that Charlie said, I don't have empathy, fuck everybody. They think we're supposed to bow down. And that's wrong. And that's just not. We're not doing that. Dante said it's all a chess game for real. Marco said, George Floyd, are you liberal? No, I'm not liberal. I wish y'all get off that liberal conservative shit. Let me tell you, man. Instead of being concerned about black violence, y'all need to be concerned about this liberal and this fucking conservative war that's going on. Because this is the shit that's going to end America. This the shit that's making us look weak out here. Instead, y'all want to talk about single mother homes. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Johnny said, I say F Charlie. Yeah, I say it with you, brother. Reading Book said, did he say he had no empathy, had no sympathy? Just asking. I don't fucking know. Jared said, be concerned about freedom of speech at the moment. Man, everything. Listen, let me tell you something. Both sides are going to get this whole spot blown the fuck up. And as it's blowing up, the racist motherfuckers is gonna be like, what about Chicago? You stupid ass people. Y'all are fucking, it's nasty work, dog. You dig? It's nasty work, man. Emmerich Smith said, shout out to you, said the government is washed. Listen, the government and what's going on now is fueled by these fucking idiots. What is going on now? You guys are to blame. And I'm talking about both sides. When this shit goes up in flames, when one of these other countries say, you know what, this is a good time to go ahead and slide over to America and bomb shit. This is a good time. They're not focused. Look at these idiots marching in the street, talking about fight back. Look at our president. You dig? It's gonna be on y'all. The liberals and the conservatives. Are you a liberal? Y'all sound like some fucking bitches. Are you a liberal? Are you a conservative? Who cares? Who cares? Think for yourself. Charlie Kirk was our hero. Shut the fuck up. Like, be a fucking man, dog. Be a fucking man. Okay? Be your own goddamn man. You dig? Look, yeah, they'll go down on that ship. I don't have a problem with Trump like that. I didn't really have a problem with Trump. I'm starting to have a problem with Trump because of his leadership. See, a good leader knows when to call a truce. A good leader knows that infighting will end his whole empire. I didn't have a problem with Trump. I'm starting to have a problem with Trump because he's not a good leader. You understand? He came out strong. He came out real strong, and I was just like fucking with him. But he's looking very unorganized. He's looking very salty and spiteful to his own people in his own land. You dig? Johnny said, Trump sucks cocktail. Emmerich said, all civilizations fail from the inside out. Yeah. Well, I say it on here often. America will never get right until they make it right with foundational black Americans. This country will never be great until they right the wrongs to which they did to foundational black Americans. I stand on that. You dig? Adam S. says, he's the worst actor I've ever seen. 83 Gator said, we can't fix black people. No, that's a lie. Let me tell you something. I shared this the other day. If white folks really wanted to fix these cities, y'all know this. If the Democrats or the Republicans really wanted to fix these cities, stop these killings, it could be done in 6 months. But they don't want to stop this shit. Who would you blame? Who would you turn to as a scapegoat? You dig? They don't want to see a bunch of black folks being successful. Are you crazy? They will rather see us locked up than be successful. You dig? 83 Gator said, we're not perfect either, so I'm not. Okay, thank you, Gator. Listen, this is all I asked for. Okay, this is all I ask for is for a little bit of fairness, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a racist like Charlie, man. Don't be a propagandist like Charlie. You know what I'm saying? Be real. And if Charlie would have said things like, we're not perfect, we got work to do too, and he should have focused on his people. And we can focus on our people. And then we can all kumbaya fucking ya. You dig? Ray Zavala said they don't care about the inner city. Hell no. They only care to bitch about it and whine about it. What about Chicago? Chicago scares you guys. You guys are so terrified of Chicago. You guys have nightmares about Chicago. Jack Jekyll said, lots of companies with no solutions. What are your solutions? My solution is number one, we got to right the wrongs that took place in this country. We have to make foundational black Americans whole. That's number one. The reason why you see crime and stuff in these cities and you see some behavior from a certain part of our community is because of what happened from history. You understand? The things that went on in history, the crack cocaine, the slavery, the Jim Crow. You understand? This is why Emmerich said, we don't need to watch his videos. He said what he said, and y'all say it's something else. Right. Come on, man. Listen, all I need is one or two clips. Again, he wasn't from the culture. He wasn't around the culture. I would have respected a little bit what he's, if he'd have said something, if he was actually from around the culture. He knows nothing about black folks. You dig? You can't just not be around black folks and think you could just talk about the culture. No. At least let him have been around or grew up in a black community or have real ties with real black people. He would have had some of my respect. But he was a lily white dude. You dig? He had no ties to the black community. So how do you know so much about the black community? Because you read some his story books. You don't get no points for that, man. 83 Gator said, I'm coming to Chicago soon with my wife. She has a big meeting for schools. She's a nurse now, but going to be a nurse practitioner. Chicago is the main place for all that. Well, let me ask you this, Gator, and I want to give you an assignment. I want to give you some homework. When you go to Chicago, I want you to go to Chicago, and I want you to tell me, were you affected by any gun violence? Were you stuck up? Were you shot? Did they do a drill on you? And come back and report to the class. All right? Because, again, when this crime happens in a certain sector of any community, it's amongst criminals. When the racists and the white supremacists commit crime, they walk into public schools. You understand? It's a difference. Kyle said he was directly in the hood in Chicago and Atlanta. They know him, fool. No, I'm not talking about visiting. I'm not talking about visiting a neighborhood. I'm talking about coming up, feeling the pain and the struggle, having real deal friends, going through shit. You know what I'm saying? That's different. Terrence Dawkins, what it do, my boy? Jay Wilkes, what it do, my boy? Book said, take some accountability. Book, how do you feel about the 5 police officers that were shot by a white man the other day? Can you answer that question? Kyle, how do you feel about the 5 police officers that were shot by a white man the other day? Nick said, you don't know struggle, try growing up in Mexico. What do I need to grow up in Mexico for, man? I'm a foundational black American. Okay, yeah, in PA, Nolly, in PA, yeah. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody's familiar with it. They never even heard about it. You dig? The Ray said, they don't want to talk about that shit. No, they don't. Oh, hold up. Art of Mind says, so much chaos is happening, I can't even keep up. Listen, this is real, true chaos. This is real deal chaos out here. I don't care what goes on in any of these cities. It is not causing chaos like we have seen in the past 6 days. Somebody stop me when I'm lying, man. You dig? These motherfuckers can cry about black people and crime. This shit is about to really implode the goddamn nation. Everybody's affected by this white on white violence. Everybody. PRB, what did I lie about? Y'all want to dance? All righty. Are you coming back? Jen said, you feeding the chaos machine. Man, how am I feeding the chaos machine? The machine is well oiled. Okay. They done crank that motherfucker up. They done crank that joint up. Ray said it's getting real. It's getting real, real. And we ain't got shit to do with it. Emo said this is not chaos. It's called universal shift. Call it what you want, man. Call it what you want. Shotgun said, no, you do running. You can't even speak. Jen said, be a man. I don't understand. But Terrence said, Cuddy not feeding it. He's just addressing it. Yeah, I'm just addressing it. And listen, we all know when we talk about racism, we will be called racist. This is a tactic. This is a tactic used by the racists. Just called narcissistic behavior. You understand? One of my favorite classes in college was psychology. I like to get into the psychology of people, man. You know what I'm saying? It's very deep. It's very deep. '83 Gator said it's called Welcome to America. '83 Gator, where's your family from? Where's your family from? FBA Kush said we just go sit back and laugh, eat popcorn, put our fingers at the degenerates of your PRB. I already told you. PRB, why don't you address why did Charlie lie on Trayvon Martin? Can you do that? Why did Charlie lie on Trayvon Martin? A dead man at that, a dead boy, a child. To boldly go says, I was on a black Republican station. How come that man sounds so much more intelligent? Who cares? Who cares? I don't care, bro. I don't care. I told y'all, well, maybe I just got in here. Maybe I just got in here. Charlie Kirk said that Trayvon Martin hunted George Zimmerman and killed him. Go look it up. Go look it up. Why would he tell such a lie? I thought this was a God-fearing Christian. Ray, you already know, bro. They love it over here. They gluttons for punishment. They like getting spanked, dog. Pause. Elite on the beach said, if the Twin Towers were as far apart as the Gap Tooth, one of them would still be standing. Yak. Real bad joke. Chris Passmore said, where's the proof? Go look it up. Don't just find the clips of Charlie that you like, okay? Go find the clips of Charlie when he's lying through his goddamn teeth. Nick said, I personally knew Trayvon's family. Friends, let me hear how he lied on Trayvon because I want to hear you lie. I just told you, go look it up and come back. It takes 2 minutes. Go look it up. Go type in Charlie Kirk on Trayvon Martin. Word for word, this is what he said. Trayvon Martin hunted George Zimmerman. That's his exact quote. PRB said Trayvon was a thug. Well, Charlie was a scumbag, sir. How about that? Yeah, boxing life, you know. Why don't you just be fair, cuz, and just go really look it up? It's going viral. It's viral. It's viral. Everybody's seen it. Everybody that wanted to see it seen it. I did a whole broadcast on it the other day. Yeah, they got a problem with accountability, man. I don't know what it is. They just very afraid of their shame. Like, they don't want their shame. It's like they don't stand on business. Like, stand on business, man. Like, yeah, we enslaved y'all. We not taking shit out the schools. We did that. Yeah, Charlie said Trayvon hunted Zimmerman, so what? Why don't you be a fucking man, dog? Ray said that sounds crazy when they say scumbag. Yeah, we just give them the same energy, that's all. I know, yeah. Reading book says they're shamed. They are fucking shamed. They are shamed. They want to close their eyes to it. All right, I'm already hip. PRB said Trayvon had a gun. Okay. Charlie had a gun too, didn't he? Man, think about this shit, man. Think about how Charlie went out. Think about this shit. That shit was real deal crucial. I'm about to go watch the tape when I get off of here. That was powerful, bro. Like in front of everybody, man. 3,000 in front of the whole fucking world, man. Damn. Yeah, Amber, they just trolling. They just trolling. Mayfall Tribe said, I grew up in West Virginia. I know damn well race is alive in old school kind. Yeah, I live 5 minutes from West Virginia. You dig? Jen said, you need to study your mouth and garbage you spew. And you know, Jen, I find it interesting that you're not trying to reprimand any of the vile comments in the comment section. You only worry about what I'm saying in response to what they're saying. That's called racism, sweetheart. Emo said, Charlie just received his karma. Jordan M says Zimmerman impersonated the police. Yeah, Zimmerman should have stayed his dumb ass in the car. Now he got to hide for the rest of his life. You dig? Jen said, I like black folks and I ain't your mod, so I'm talking to you. Oh, that's what it is. You want to be a mod. You want to be a mod, Jen. Just say that. You want to be a moderator, don't you? Yes, you do. Why would you bring that up? Legendary Frolic said Charlie Kirk's karma would be getting his ass beat, not getting shot in front of his own kids, you spineless worm. Well, listen here. Let me tell you how the world works. You don't get to just run around here saying what you want to say without consequence, and you don't get to pick your consequence. And to be honest, we don't know why they took Charlie out. Nobody knows. Trump probably, let's say Charlie's people probably had something to do with that. You see Candace Owens scrambling around trying to find answers. She's on to something. And guess where your tax dollars is going to go? To the people who killed Charlie. But you won't talk about them. You rather talk about black on black crime. That's crazy. That's crazy work. What if y'all find out? I want to ask all the racists ahead. What if y'all find out that Netanyahu was behind this assassination? And we keep sending them money. What are you going to do? What are you going to do when you find out Trump is a tool and he's going to keep sending Netanyahu and Israel money? What are you going to do about that? I want to hear real answers, tough guys. It's a bunch of tough guys in here. What are you going to do? You're not going to do jack shit but cry and whine about black people. Tricky Blaze said, we ain't going to do shit. You got damn right you ain't going to do shit. I want to know. I want to know what all these guys, because they seem to want to focus on us, right? They want to focus on us, but I want to know, are y'all going to turn up when you find out, if you find out, your man, Big Don, when you find out Big Don in Israel had to trim the fat, what the fuck are you going to do? You going to be mad at us, aren't you? Terrence said they going to keep acting dumb as usual and continue to talk about black folks. Yep. I just told y'all. They will not be accountable for their actions. Brian Back said, what the fuck I'm going to do nothing because I'm not sitting here acting like any of these leaders are for me, okay? Y'all the ones got the MAGA hats on acting like Trump is going to lead you to the promised land. You guys are Trump's warriors. You guys eat, sleep, breathe, and shit Trump. Right? Now, matter of fact, he did get away with that Epstein shit. I know a lot of people left the Trump train. A lot of people left the Trump train with that Epstein shit. You dig? So what's going to happen when you find out he had a hand in old Charlie getting his TV turned off? 83 Gator said, I love Trump, but if he's on that Epstein list, I'm out. What you mean if? Elite Beat said, by the way, if Charlie is such a racist, why best friend? Oh my God. Y'all really count Candace Owens as a black person? Let me tell you something. Somebody asked in the chat earlier, what is your definition of racism? Let me tell y'all something real clear. Can I have a ceasefire real quick? Hit one, even the racists in here. Even the racists in here. Can press one if you allow me to have a ceasefire and just listen to what I'm about to tell you. Please, fuck everything else. Just listen to what I'm about to tell you about racism. Thank you. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Listen. This is what y'all got to understand about racism. Racism is not about liking a motherfucker. Racism is not about hanging out with black people. Racism, some of the most racist motherfuckers have black girlfriends. Racism is not about liking people. Racism is about, an example of racism is pushing propaganda, rewriting history, making a certain group look a certain way because you have the power. You have the power to subjugate those people. We don't have power to subjugate anybody based on race. I can say white people are mass shooters all day, and I don't say that. I say racists are mass shooters. But if I say white people are mass shooters, nothing will happen to your people. But if we run around here talking about black people need to stop sleeping around, black people are inherently violent, black people don't take care of their kids, it is now creating a narrative that is harmful to my group. That is racism. You can do that while hanging with a Caribbean like Candace Owens. Because she'll say the same fucking shit. She'll push the same shit. You dig? So racism is not about liking a motherfucker. You got that? Y'all can get off of that. Oh, who was her best friend? Who was his best friend? Please. Even, not all, shout out to my Caribbeans and Africans and shit, but a lot of Africans and Caribbeans do not like black Americans. They're racist against black Americans. And I love my Jamaican folks. I love my African folks and everybody else. Mexicans, some Mexicans, Jamaicans, Africans, they do not like foundational black Americans. Do you understand that? Come on, man. Y'all gotta really come on. PRB's just repeating the same. He's trolling. EDU Tainment said, true that many Jamaicans don't like black Yankees. Yeah, they'll even call their own Jamaicans. Like if a Jamaican moves out here and lives out here for like 10 years and then goes back to Jamaica, they'll call them a Yank. Africans call us Akadas. You dig? Have you ever heard of fucking Somalian? The way they talk about black America, they call us bullet bags. We don't have any friends, y'all. You understand that? Foundational black Americans, they hate us because they ain't us. You understand? They hate us because they ain't us. Not all of them. Not all of them. Terrence said racism is something that is taught. Yeah, I tell the story all the time. I had a friend of mine, a chick from Nigeria, real thick junk. Body was like a Coke bottle, real serious joint. Dark as a goddamn piece of coal. But she was sexy. And she told me, she used to hang out with me and shit. She told me, she was like, my family told me I could never come home with a black American. She said I would never date a black American. You dig? No, I'm not African American. You keep saying that. That's not going to change the fact that I'm foundational black American. PRB, if you're not trolling, just answer this question. Where is your family lineage from? Where is your family lineage from? Don't be a troll, man. Let's have a conversation. Legendary Frolic said, racism is both taught and it comes from my experiences with certain races. Well, to be honest, man, like I said, black folks can't really practice racism. We can't really practice. We can call you names. You understand? But we can't formulate narratives about you that'll be harmful to you and your kids and create laws. That shit that Charlie was pushing, that shit, it coincides with the National Guard activity. And I'm not mad at the National Guard activity. But Charlie and Trump was on board. They was on code together. The shit Charlie was saying was being played out in the political arena. Charlie said these cities are so violent, it needs to stop. National Guard goes in. Your tax money's wasted. Okay. Y'all too fucking stupid. Y'all would rather see us subjugated than have a healthy economy. You dig? If somebody asks, hey, yeah, everybody that asks how is Charlie racist, you're going to get timed out for 24 hours. I don't want to see that question again. I just told you. I'm going to tell you one more time. I just told you what racism is. Racism is pushing propaganda like Charlie did. Racism is lying on a Trayvon Martin. What would he lie for? To cover up, to deflect from white supremacy. Racism is deflecting from white supremacy. Taking history out of schools. Saying, hey, forget your trauma. Forget what we did. We're going to focus on the future now. That's not America. That's not the American way. That is not patriotism. Patriotism is, hey, patriotism is not, we're going to take all this stuff out of schools. No, we're not going to talk about it anymore. No. You know, no. We're going to do it our way. That's racism. You understand? That's how he was practicing racism. It was, if it ain't white, it's right. If it ain't white, it ain't right. You're going to do what we tell you to do. You're going to focus on what we tell you to focus on. We're going to make it seem like all black people sleep around, because this is what he said. He said, word for word, black people need to stop sleeping around. What? We learn from y'all. When y'all see these bitches out here twerking in the fucking street, listen. When y'all see these bitches out here twerking in the street, the sexy reds and shit, listen. They learn from the best. Y'all remember? What's that shit called? The commercial used to air all the time. Girls Gone Wild. Girls Gone Wild. Y'all remember that shit? Y'all remember Girls Gone Wild? Where y'all think these chicks learn this shit from? They wasn't doing that shit like that. They learned that shit from Girls Gone Wild. Being on a party bus. Being out in the street. Jerry Springer. What would you get beads for doing what on Jerry Springer? What do you get beads for? For showing your titties. All that shit you see today, is learned behavior from the dominant society. The killing, the drilling. Where do you think these young boys learn this shit from? The gun violence, that's not of our culture. That's not what we do. Charlie Kirk, the reason why he's racist is because he made it seem like that's black culture. And he knew that was not black culture. That was not black culture in its totality. That was violent culture. That's degenerate culture. That's not black culture. Black culture is fashion, music, perseverance, food. You understand? We have a very rich culture. In fact, our culture is American culture is mostly made up of black culture. We are the fucking flavor in this motherfucker. Do you understand that? Y'all know that. We are the flavor in this motherfucker. If it wasn't for us, y'all be listening to classical music. Let's be real, dog. The whole world knows this shit. F8 says, bro, you right. My mother's generation and before wouldn't dare do any of that crazy nonsense. Talk to them, F8. They know this shit. This shit has been learned. This is learned behavior. Mayfall says, who sells out music? The small hats? But don't blame it on the Jews, dog. Don't blame it on the Jews. Okay? Don't do that. Reading books said you should worry about your own white people in poverty. Yeah, it's a lot of white poverty, especially where I live at. It's a lot of white poverty. You dig? But let's be real about this shit, man. We are the motherfucking secret sauce in America, man. We are. That's and you know it. You know damn well we are. All the music that you hear, most of the music that you hear is from black culture. Country, rock and roll, rap, R&B, blues. That shit comes from black culture. Go look it up. Even fucking the African joint, Afro beats. You dig? Mayfall said they control more distribution than any other group. Yeah, okay, but they still white, dog. It's still white supremacy. You dig? We're not gonna break it up in different groups. Kyle said, dude said blacks loot. USMC, you a fool. Who? Loot, y'all loot too, man. Listen, y'all called it conquering, right? Y'all like the pretty word of conquering. Y'all looted January 6th and killed the police officer. Why do y'all forget about that? Why do y'all forget that? I keep seeing this little meme, whatever the fuck you call them. And it says, when George Floyd died, and it showed Builder's Burden. And when Charlie Kirk died, people holding hands and praying. As if y'all don't loot. Y'all lost an election and ran in the fucking Capitol and hurt police and had the fucking members of the federal workers hiding under desks and shit. Y'all just gonna run in the Capitol. I respect what they did January. I'm very objective. I have a certain level of respect for what they did January 6th. But let's not act like they didn't do it. Yeah, the shit burnt down for George Floyd. It wasn't even about George Floyd. George Floyd was a symbol. He was the last straw. George Floyd is not a hero, okay? But George Floyd was a catalyst. And the reason why they had to burn shit down is because y'all didn't want to produce justice. The racist system did not want to stand on American business. That's why this motherfucker burnt up. I love this shit. I love it. I'm glad they tore this motherfucker up. I was in front of the White House protesting. I was watching police getting hit with skateboards and M80s, and it was a great day. MC said Charlie was a plant with a lot of money that people funded his organization. And these fucking idiots are too stupid to realize that. MK said it's because the government wanted it just like January 6th. Who you think put pallets and bricks out? Erica Smith said, I'm Blackfoot Indian and African American. Yeah, my father Blackfoot. But hey, sis, are you African? Are you like your mother's or father is from Africa? I'm just asking. What would I be under arrest for? I said I watched. Other people. You know who was hitting the police? Oh, I'm glad you said it. You know who was hitting the police with the skateboards? It was white people. White people were throwing M80s across the lawn over into the White House where the tanks was. You did? Jen said you live in a white country. What does that mean? What does that even mean? Yeah, there were tanks in the White House lawn. Of course, I'm lying about that too. Y'all are so fucking stupid, dog. You only believe Charlie Kirk. That's it. Okay, don't go on Chat GPT. You can go on Twitter. You can go on Facebook. You can go on Instagram. Do I gotta put the fucking clip up? I don't want to get a copyright strike. Kevin said it's hilarious how you are entertaining the fact that people are stupid. Have you listened to yourself? No, I'm having fun, bro. This is what I do. This is my therapy, man. This is where I get shit off my chest. It is no sweat, homie. You dig? Yeah, go find it. Look. Matter of fact, don't find it. I'm lying. It doesn't matter. You just make another excuse anyway. You dig? Chris, where's your family from? Chris, do you care about the 5 police officers that was shot by a white man the other day? You care about that? 3 of them died. Do you care? You want to talk about that? No? Jen said if it were founded by black people 249 years ago, I would be you. Man, we built the country. We built the country. You understand? Foundational black Americans built America. Even Trump said it. Trump said African Americans, he doesn't know no better, but he said African Americans built the country. This is what your man Trump said. What am I ducking? Okay, so PRB, speak on the situation. I want you to reprimand your white brother for shooting those police. And I want you to say this white on white crime is getting out of hand. PRB, we built America, the land that you're on. That's what we built. Okay? I know you don't like that. You're not gonna like that fact, but it is what it is. You dig? Jen says you're brainwashed. I don't even want to read. Your comments are so lowbrow and low IQ. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Your comments are just very bad. It's very bad. I can tell you don't live in a good part of town, do you? You waiting for your fucking welfare check, ain't you? Yeah, that's how you talk. Jen, you talk like you're waiting for your goddamn EBT to hit. PRB, why you not answering the question? Jen said, I ain't on no government. I ain't on no government. Yeah, you dropped out in the 9th grade, didn't you? You was sucking the brothers off in the bathroom, wasn't you? Yeah, I could tell you're type. You was sucking the brothers off in the bathroom. And that's one reason America's mad. That's one reason the racists are mad. Keep it real, man. A lot of the racists are mad because they live in fear that their wife is gonna get hit with that Shango stick. Let's keep it real. Sarah Brown said he was absolutely lynched. We're gonna find out. Hopefully we get some answers. Hopefully we get some answers. Jay Wilkes says, PRB, we been tired of your dusty ass. Yeah, PRB is just a troll and he's very upset. He's very mad. Yeah, I'm not knocking welfare. I was on Section 8 for a while and I got my money up. I saved a bunch of money and I got to call the Section 8 office. I said, man, look, I appreciate y'all. I don't need your services no more. You dig? And I went and bought a house with cash. You dig? MK, nobody's ducking your little weak ass talking points. Chris says, see, this is another example of racism. And if Charlie was here, he would have said the same thing. Chris says, already been confirmed as suicide. Leave it alone. This is called racism. When you know that there's more to the story, or there could possibly be more to the story, right? They just no. It's just a suicide. It's just a suicide. Chris, if that was your son, if it was your son, would you say if that was your son and the details were a little sketchy, would you say it's already been confirmed as suicide, or would you want more answers? Right. PRB said Charlie would not like you. I know he didn't like me. He did not like me or mine. Let's be real. He liked black folks that kissed white ass. That's what he liked. Charlie, see, y'all love now. Let's get to the nitty gritty, man. Y'all love black folks that want to appease you, right? You want black folks that don't talk about racism. Those are the kind of black folks that you like. You dig? When you come into a real one, right? You come into a real foundational black American, you can't stand it, right? Kyle said Charlie could have helped you. Help me how? How you gonna help me? How will Charlie help me? He can't help himself, man. MK, I didn't even see your little bullshit comment, man. Chris said I love all folks. Well, if you love all folks, you need to try to understand folks. This is y'all problem. This is the racist problems. Y'all act like y'all love everybody, but when we say, hey, they found one of ours up in the tree, we want some answers. And you say, no, it's already been ruled a suicide. That's not love. You don't love shit. Bobby Walker said Charlie would have no choice but to respect his brother's freedom of speech. Thank you, Bobby. Absolutely. But no, Charlie being the good white supremacist that he was, he probably would have tried to have me fired or something more. I wish I could have debated Charlie. Charlie was easy motherfucking money. That shit was not impressive at all. At all. I've known about Charlie for about 5 years. His shit was not impressive. He talked to kids. He talked to fucking college kids. Put him in front of a Professor James Small. Put him in front of a real goddamn scholar. Put him in front of a Farrakhan. Put him in front of a fucking Farrakhan. That shit would have crumbled quickly. Jay Wilkes says Charlie was mediocre. Fucking yoker, man. Though we got so many scholars that if he'd have sat with, he knows who they are. He knows who they are. He went to college, to the college kids. And y'all are impressed by that shit. Y'all are impressed. Leonard said he talked to our future. Yes, that was very strategic to talk to the future. Because why? They want to make America great again. That's why. They are trying to set the Republican Party up to win these next elections so they can make America great again. So they can implement these racist laws and policies. First thing you do is go to the youth and tell them how fucked up black people are. That's the first thing you do. Because these white kids, this generation, they hanging out with black folks. They turning up the NBA young boy. They got good friends. They dating each other. They fucking each other. They had to try to stop to that shit. Hey, no guys, they're bad. Don't do what they do. Kyle said he made millies, no degree, in 5 years out of high school. Got to the bag. You ain't nothing to like. But do you know how he got his bag, Kyle, since you want his dick so heavy? Do you know how he got his bag? You know they paid him $4 million off the gate. You're bragging about that like you aren't following a bought and paid for propagandist. That's nothing. That's not a flex, homie. That's nothing to be proud of. I would rather have my leader be grassroots, from the ground up, not somebody who was sculpted and trained and groomed and paid millions of dollars. But what would they pay him millions of dollars for? Don't be proud of that, man. It's nothing to be proud of. You dig? Chris says a white racist wouldn't call a black baby a gift from God. Listen, man. Listen. Why the fuck wouldn't he? Why would I just gave y'all the breakdown what racism is. Look, you can do the performative, shake hands and kiss babies, but if your underlying message was more sinister and harmful, kissing that baby don't mean shit. You think they was gonna come out? You actually think they was gonna will Charlie Kirk out here so he can tell us how much he hates niggas? No, this is called a bought and paid for operative. Do you understand that? They were setting him up. See, racism, blatant racism, it's a no-go in the mainstream. It's not good for business. Do you understand that? You cannot run out here calling people niggas and all this other shit. Your racism is very sophisticated at that level. Look at Nick Fuentes. He's trying to clean his act up now because he wants in the mainstream. He knows that little degenerate shit, calling people out, being very derogatory, that will not take him far. You understand that? They're trying to hide the racism. They're hiding it everywhere. That's called making sense, y'all. You dig? Tricky Blade says Nick Fuentes is his guy. Yeah, he's trying to clean his act up, man. You dig? Chris says, "Tell us you blame the white man for all your problems with telling us you blame." Bro, I don't blame the white. Look, I live a great life, my man, and that's all y'all can do is come in here and try to formulate that narrative, and it is very weak. Instead of doing that, you should at least try to formulate a constructive talking point. Because you didn't hear me beg or blame anybody for shit. I just told facts. It's a fact that the U.S. government flooded black communities with crack cocaine. It is a fact that my ancestors were enslaved for hundreds of years. It is a fact that we went through Jim Crow, okay? And I still go through racism. That's a fucking fact. That's not blaming anybody. But once again, my man, he said, I love everybody. You don't love shit. Because if one of your fellow Americans said, hey, I experienced oppression. Hey, our neighborhoods are fucked up because of this, this, and this. You would at least try to understand. But what you do is you say, nuh-uh, you're blaming the white man. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, I'm not in the hood, Gator. I take pride not being in the hood. What the fuck does that mean? MK said, cry baby. Y'all, you're crying. See, let me tell you something. When people say that you're crying and you're clearly not crying, that means you're the one really crying. It's very telling. It's called a projection. It's called projection. You dig? Belgrade, Florida. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? What's that supposed to mean? What does that mean? Belgrade, Florida. What, is that supposed to be the hood or something? Am I supposed to be impressed? I know you don't really hang out with black people like that. You're not close to no black people. Bruh, put your little comment in here so you can shut up, dog. MK Cultural Instinct or whatever the fuck your name is. Put your little comment in here, man, because you act like I'm ducking something. I ain't ducking nothing. A3 Gator said Chris is trying to say he's in the hood. Dude is fake as fuck. What the fuck does that get? You can be in the hood. We know you don't hang with the homies. You not hanging out with no black folks. You not hanging in the hood. What does that mean? I'm not in the hood. I'm in the suburbs, in my home. Come on, man. Oh, you're from the hood. Let me guess, you was getting your ass whooped on the daily. You used to try to be a yo boy. You used to try to be like the black folks, and now you grew up, and just like a lot of them do, and you turn into Tom fucking McDonald. Yeah. Emo said Belglades ain't shit but the swamps of Florida. I'm gonna look up Belglades, see how much of the fucking hood it is, because I want to see. Elite said, "You hate niggas. Stevie Wonder doesn't even wonder that. He can see that in the dark." That's fucking stupid. That's dumb as shit. Yeah. Well, listen, y'all. Ray 83. I'm about to get up out of here. I got shit to do. Um, I will be back. What's the day? I'll probably be back Sunday. Sunday we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna chop it up. You dig? So hey, I appreciate everybody that came through today, man. Y'all be easy.